we was doing training. What we used is practice grenades, and one of them went off, and one of my testicles got destroyed. And the doctor said that...
A testicle gone? This is one of the reasons it's important to thank the people that serve in the military for their services. If things don't go as planned today in paternity court, Mr. Bullock may end up being childless forever. It may also be different since someone is claiming to be his child. Maybe things will look up for Mr. Bullock as he leaves the court.
Ashley, you say that after years of searching, you finally located the man you believe to be your biological father. You say that after finding Mr. Bullock, he embraced you as his daughter before cruelly...
Mr. Ashley wants to know if Mr. Bullock truly fathered her, as she has had to deal with acceptance and rejection from Mr. Bullock from childhood to adulthood. Mr. Bullock claims, even though he was once married to Ms. Ashley's mother, he knows he isn't the biological father to Ms. Ashley because of a medical condition that has partially rendered his reproductive organ futile.
How did Mr. Bullock reject you as a child?
Well, at age 2, I went to foster care. And at age 6, I was adopted by a single woman. She gave me a good life.
That would hurt anyone who isn't even a child. Ms. Ashley went from being in foster care to having to look at other kids having their parents around when hers were nowhere to be found. Ms. Ashley must have felt abandoned and betrayed by the parents who brought her to life, and that's why she wants to know if Mr. Bullock is that man.
I've tried several attempts, several times. As a matter of fact, that Saturday she was taken away.
Ma'am, I was adopted.
No, she wasn't adopted right away because I was paying child support.
Mr. Bullock said he did some digging, but his hands were tied as they wouldn't give him the child to take care of. Mr. Bullock even claimed he wanted Ms. Ashley to be his daughter, but things didn't just go as planned. Ms. Ashley doesn't seem to be having any of Mr. Bullock's tales because she felt Mr. Bullock should have tried harder in getting her back.
Him, which was on Facebook. I wrote him an email on Facebook and told him, you know, if you know who I am, please contact me.
So you submitted...
Ms. Ashley sent a text message to Mr. Bullock in hopes that they would have a conversation that would lead to something that would help her in the search for her real father. But judging from Ms. Ashley's reaction in the stand, the conversation didn't seem to go so well. Ms. Ashley claimed she's grown, and Mr. Bullock could have just laid it out straight instead of cutting through corners.
Said was, hello, daughter, come visit me and my wife.
Right.
Let me take you and meet all my friends. After the fact what? That you accept.
Ms. Ashley claimed Mr. Bullock initially accepted her with open arms as he invited her and her kids over and even made her meet his family, friends, and co-worker. Down the line, according to Ms. Ashley, Mr. Bullock turned around and said, Ms. Ashley isn't her daughter. Mr. Bullock cuts in to defend himself, saying that wasn't how the conversation went as he remembers it differently.
Her mother right here. That's why I met her mother. July now.
In July?
Yes, ma'am. Now, I'm gonna count the months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Mr. Bullock says the timeline of Ms. Ashley's pregnancy and when she was born doesn't add up. Ms. Ashley was born 4 months prior to when she was uploaded to be born if she was genuinely Mr. Bullock's daughter. There's the question of why Mr. Bullock signed the birth certificate since he was in so much doubt, but love got the best of him as he claims he did it because he was in love with Ms. Ashley's mother at the time.
Sit up here and make it seem like, you know, I'm doing something to him or, you know, he want to make a show. Go right ahead.
Mama Ashley says her life wouldn't change whether Mr. Bullock is her father or not. She just wants to know the truth. Mr. Bullock says his relationship with Ms. Ashley has been strained due to the way Ms. Ashley is always acting towards him, which seems like a disrespectful way. Maybe this is all due to Ms. Ashley's built-up anger, but her mother is supposed to be the one getting the major part of this heat, though.
She's my daughter now. If I'm gonna put her with this kind of behavior, I need to know if she's my daughter. Because there's no way I'm gonna let a child that's not mine put up with this kind of behavior.
You don't believe.
Mr. Bullock really isn't a fan of the way Ms. Ashley acts towards him. Mr. Bullock even claims he would have overlooked ever saying anything about Ms. Ashley not being his biological daughter, but since she's so mean towards him, he would prefer to know before he can allow the mean attitude to go on. Now let's find out if that will go on, or Ms. Ashley will be owing Mr. Bullock an apology.
The case of Ashley versus Bullock. When it comes to 28-year-old Ebony Ashley, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Bullock, you
Two men being caught in the middle of a paternity issue never ends well. Maybe the mother can move on without feeling so much pain, but when the kids eventually grow up, they definitely want to know who their father is regardless, or how irresponsible they were, or whatever reason they weren't present in their lives.
Ms. Kelly, you are here to determine if one of two men we've tested for paternity is your biological father. You hope to leave this courtroom today knowing your father's identity.
Ms. Kelly is about to get married, and she wants her father to walk her down the aisle, but she's confused about who exactly her father is. Cause is wrong, her mother told her more than one man is her possible father. Mr. Duncan hopes Ms. Kelly is his daughter, and he can walk her down the aisle. There's also Mr. Anthony that was shocked to even know about the existence of Ms. Kelly when she showed up at his house.
When I was 2, my grandparents started raising me, and I noticed that I was different because they're white and I was brown. My grandmother used to get awkward looks and she would say stuff to people, and sometimes kids gave me trouble at school.
As the saying goes, every child needs a male figure in their lives alongside a female character in the home. But it is what it is. Ms. Kelly's grandfather kicked the bucket, and her mother felt it was a good idea to let her know about her potential fathers. Ms. Kelly claimed, while the first man she met showed no reaction, Mr. Duncan opened the doors of his home to her and accepted her.
Well, I was happy. I was proud. I was proud, to have a look, to have a child.
Did you question it? Did you have doubts?
I might have had a little doubt because at that time,
Mr. Duncan seems to be a cool-headed man, seeing how he wants Ms. Kelly to be his daughter so badly. Mr. Duncan may have had a little bit of doubt about paternity because Ms. Kelly's mother was with another man and was living with him back then, but he still wishes Ms. Kelly to be his daughter.
They got killed. It really disturbed her. She's seen everything happen. So she started being rebellious towards my mom, and everything showed out in school and all. And I knew it was time. My mom never wanted her to know who her father was.
Ms. Kelly's mother narrated the same story, and Kelly told the court about how her childhood went and how her potential fathers came into her life. While Mr. Duncan accepted Ms. Kelly, the other man wasn't interested in being caught up with a child that he wasn't sure about. Ms. Kelly's mother accepted she had made mistakes, but it was because she was young, and she was just living life at a fast pace.
For her life, and
Yes.
it's time she gets her closure.
Now, Mr. Duncan, take me back. Once you were in a relationship with Ms. Kelly.
Mr. Duncan really went all the way to have Ms. Kelly in his life. After Ms. Kelly's grandfather had a strange conversation Mr. Duncan wouldn't disclose, he decided to take on the responsibility of caring for Ms. Kelly and her mother. And of course, Mr. Duncan didn't look bad at all. He looked like he rocked a lot of women's worlds and hearts back then.
hey, that she ain't my child because all them years, people would say, that ain't your child. She said, that ain't your child. But deep in my heart, every time they would say that,
Mr. Duncan has said the ultimate truth about his feelings towards Ms. Kelly. Mr. Duncan says even though the DNA test result comes back negative, Ms. Kelly would still always be his daughter. Mr. Duncan also added how Ms. Kelly's mother had been going around in the neighborhood telling people Ms. Kelly wasn't his daughter. That must have hurt a man like Mr. Duncan that had been trying to do everything in his power to take care of Ms. Kelly.
Contact then. If you believe this was your child, knew this was your child, even though you two had broken up, how'd you lose contact with Destiny?
I didn't know what to do.
Mr. Duncan claims he felt the same pain and hurt Ms. Kelly felt growing up with people suggesting he's not her father. At this point, even if the DNA test result comes back saying Mr. Duncan isn't the father, he may just still have to walk Ms. Kelly down the aisle. The love Mr. Duncan has for Ms. Kelly seems unreal. Since the day she was born till now, they are in paternity court.
Test to find out if 25-year-old Destiny is my daughter. When I first found out I could be Destiny's father, I was shocked. I never knew Ms. Kelly was pregnant. I mean, this was the first I was hearing of it about a month ago when they approached me.
Mr. Anthony couldn't be in court in person, but there's a video where he talks about how shocked he was knowing about Ms. Kelly. Mr. Anthony also mentioned Ms. Kelly doesn't look like him or any of his other kids, which means he doubts being Ms. Kelly's father. So let's find out who will be walking Ms. Kelly down the aisle.
Of Kelly v. Duncan Anthony. When it comes to Destiny Kelly, Mr. Anthony is not her father.
There's nothing that guarantees a man won't be involved in paternity fraud as long as the woman isn't loyal to him, but sometimes the women are just returning the same energy the men give. Men want to keep messing around, and some women are interested in doing the same thing. And here comes the paternity issues.
Ms. Woods, you say you had a brief sexual relationship with Mr. Volmar, which resulted in him intentionally impregnating you. You say Mr. Volmar now refuses to take responsibility.
Ms. Woods says Mr. Volmar intentionally impregnated her after a brief intimate relationship, but he's now denying her child. Ms. Woods is in court today to prove that Mr. Volmar is indeed the father of her child. Mr. Volmar says Ms. Woods is a manipulative liar, and to make matters worse, she was sleeping around with multiple men during the time of conception. Mr. Volmar also added that Ms. Woods is desperate to be with him, and that's her reason for trying to pin a baby on him. Okay.
Involved with Mr. Volmar.
I was going through some issues with my other kid's father, and one night I went to the club and wound up running into Mr. Volmar. He actually walked.
A fast breeder indeed. One thing led to another, as Ms. Woods mentioned, and the intimate session didn't take long to happen, but the protection popped off, and that already puts the possibility of a child on the table. Mr. Volmar also attests to the fact that Ms. Woods is a fast breeder, seeing how she already had 4 kids prior to their meeting.
He was in a relationship for 5 years, and the girl wasn't able to, get pregnant.
So you admit you had a sexual relationship with Ms. Woods?
That's it.
And you weren't in a committed relationship?
Never.
Mr. Volmar agrees to having a lot of unprotected sex with Ms. Woods after the condom broke a couple times. That doesn't sound responsible, but from Mr. Volmar's face, he doesn't look like he cared then or now. Mr. Volmar told Ms. Woods his girlfriend of 5 years wasn't able to conceive. Maybe that's the reason he didn't believe Ms. Woods' pregnancy was his doing.
You don't know, but you could be.
I don't know because, I've tried it before, it didn't work, I don't know.
So when you say you tried it before and it didn't work, what do you mean?
I tried to get 3 different women pregnant.
Mr. Volmar says he had tried to have babies with 3 different women, but it didn't work out. Magically, it worked out with Ms. Woods, but he had stopped trying by then. And this doesn't add up in Mr. Volmar's mind. Mr. Volmar believes the baby belongs to Ms. Woods' partner that she was living with, but Ms. Woods claims she wasn't dealing with her partner during the window of conception.
I was talking in the heat of the moment, like, come on, man, really?
So, Ms. Woods, you're saying you were in a relationship with your other child's father.
Right.
You were having sex with Mr. Volmar.
No, you can just call me side piece.
Oh wow, Mr. Volmar is really okay being called the side piece. As a matter of fact, he loved it as he could enjoy the benefits of a woman being with him sexually, but not for a committed relationship. Ms. Woods had to tell her partner she would be having his baby because she was in his house, even though she knew the baby belonged to Mr. Volmar.
I cannot deal with him, and that's why I didn't want no baby for him, because the type of attitude he have, how he's set up, like he just ignorant, and I cannot deal with him.
But no!
Ms. Woods says she was dealing with something, and that made her start dealing with Mr. Volmar. Ms. Woods further explained she was dealing with her baby daddy's fussing and fighting, and that made her tilt towards Mr. Volmar's tent. Well, there are many other ways to deal with that, instead of laying in bed with another man, Ms. Woods.
Still in a relationship with the other guy?
No, and the fact is, like, he's hurt over the situation, but at the end of the day, I can't blame him.
You ultimately had to tell him that it could.
Mr. Volmar looks like he has a lot of things to get out of his head in court. Mr. Volmar thinks Ms. Woods may have tried to play a fast one on him. Firstly, she went to another city to give birth, and she even told the other guy he's the father, and also told Mr. Volmar he's the biological father of the child. Mr. Volmar also claimed there was another guy at the club, but Ms. Woods says that was just a friend.
This is your baby?
Yep. And I looked at her with the same look I'm giving you right now, like, what?
And so, Ms. Woods, when you arrived, and you told Mr. Volmar he's your child's father.
Yeah.
What was his reaction?
So Mr. Volmar had the opportunity to conduct a DNA test, but he threw that away? Mr. Volmar even seemed to have agreed to the child being his at one point. But as it is currently, Mr. Volmar says Ms. Woods is the worst thing that has ever happened to him in his life. Okay, let's find out if he has to deal with these headaches he claims Ms. Woods is, or he can go on to live his life freely.
Of Woods versus Volmar. When it comes to 4-month-old Madison Woods, it has been determined by Mr. Volmar.
There's always a man in paternity court thinking he's about to get trapped with a baby when everyone knows some men easily get away with being absent in their child's entire existence. Let's hear about Mr. Young's case. Maybe he's just like these deadbeat fathers or otherwise.
Ms. Nichols, you've dragged the defendant, Mr. Young, to court today because you say he denies he's the father of your 13-month-old daughter, Sine.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say it's time for him to
Ms. Nichols wants Mr. Young to step up and take responsibility for his child when the result proves that he's indeed the biological father of Ms. Nichols' baby. Mr. Young says Ms. Nichols was already pregnant with another man's baby when they started their relationship, and he won't allow Ms. Nichols trap him with another man's child.
Young, so why do you believe she's trying to pin a child on you?
Well, she doesn't like the fact that I moved on and I have a new relationship, and she's all about getting money out of me. She knows that I was
Now that's two different versions of the story. From Ms. Nichols saying Mr. Young has been denying her child even before his new relationship he's talking about to her, talking about how long they have known each other leading to their relationship. All Mr. Young had to reply to was that they didn't automatically move in together like Ms. Nichols stated. Okay, Mr. Young.
Yeah, when it come over, I ain't seen you in a long time. Can we hang out? So we hang out, and then
Your Honor, I was
dating
living
here.
with a roommate that was moving to Georgia, and I didn't know where I was going to go.
Ms. Nichols and Mr. Young seem to be having different memories about the events that led them up to this very moment. Ms. Nichols said they had a relationship, but Mr. Young said it was just sex and nothing more. Mr. Young has also mentioned a particular sugar daddy twice, but Ms. Nichols doesn't think there's one.
that she was living with, that I was her cousin.
Yes, I absolutely did.
When he was bringing her over to my house, dropping her off, and she telling me that he's just a friend of the family, but couldn't find out
No, I
he was
did
the man
not.
that she was sleeping with.
73? Oh, okay, Ms. Nichols. Ms. Nichols says the man in question did anything and everything she asked for, including when she and Mr. Young needed food, which the man never failed to provide for them. Like Judge Lauren said, Mr. Young was enjoying the sugar from the sugar daddy.
Your Honor, she told me
No,
that
I didn't.
she told me she used to sleep with him before. She cut it off.
No, I
That's
did
what
not.
she told me.
I
I said, well, ain't no, because I told her, ain't no man gonna be giving her no money without him not getting nothing in return. She said,
I
oh,
told
well,
him that we
he's
had
just a friend of the
sexual
family.
contact.
Sexual contact and not sexual intercourse? Now that's interesting. Ms. Nichols says she wasn't having any sexual relationship with either one of Mr. Young's suspicions about the father of her child. Mr. Young is holding on to his opinion that he didn't father the child. One of Ms. Nichols' other alleged men did.
Got pregnant, Miss Nichols. You told him?
He told me I was pregnant.
Really?
We were just sitting around, and he just kept looking at me, and I'm like, well, you know, what are you looking at? He was like, well, you're pregnant.
Mr. Young says the dates of when Ms. Nichols conceived and when she gave birth doesn't add up, but from Ms. Nichols' calculation and what had happened with the delivery of the child, it seems right. Mr. Young cuts in saying the baby doesn't look like him and doesn't have the signature cleft his other babies have.
If once you began a sexual relationship with Sean, did you have sexual intercourse with anyone else? You said yes.
Yes.
Wow.
And the lie detector determined?
According to the lie detector test results, Ms. Nichols was having sexual intercourse with another man and also the supposed sugar daddy. Ms. Nichols fights that, saying it was a sexual contact and not sexual intercourse. Only Ms. knows better, but the lie detector already proved Mr. Young right.
We did
That's
move on,
reason-
and he
yeah.
came back into our lives in the middle of May, and we started having sex again. The last time was just 3 weeks ago.
Girl, please.
He was just at my house 5 days ago.
Mr. Young still seems to be interested in Ms. Nichols going by the content of his text, but Mr. Young says that's not him. Mr. Young's girlfriend must be one of God's strongest soldiers with her bold wink there. Anyway, Mr. Young can deny whatever he said, but he wouldn't be able to deny anything anymore if the DNA test result comes back positive.
This is Young. When it comes to 13-month-old Sine Young, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Young, you
Some fathers always want the baby to be theirs as they have bonded with the child, but on the other hand, some men would do anything to deny paternity of the child, even if they know they are the father. However, there's no denying anymore when that test result is announced. Let's see how that will play out in Mr. Tidwell's case.
Ms. Lockridge, you've dragged the defendant, Mr. Tidwell, to court because he has refused to acknowledge your 10-month-old son, King. You are 100% sure
Ms. Lockridge just wants the DNA test result to prove Mr. Tidwell is her child's biological father so she can get past the sour situation they have going on. Mr. Tidwell claims he doesn't believe he fathered Ms. Lockridge's child as they didn't have a serious relationship.
Your Honor, Mr. Tidwell does not have a relationship with my son. The only time he's actually seen my son is when I've made it a convenience for him and brought him to him. That means traveling 4 hours on bus, driving 2 hours on.
Ms. Lockridge says Mr. Tidwell doesn't have a relationship with her child, and he named him King without actually giving him a king treatment. Mr. Tidwell says his part, as he claims it seems Ms. Lockridge wants him to be the father than she believes he's the father. Mr. Tidwell says Ms. Lockridge has left him with the baby for long periods to go live her life and all sorts of things.
There was no relationship.
Just, what, casual sex?
Yes.
We were on and off for 6 years. We were together for my understanding, how he led me to believe I was single or I was with.
Ms. Lockridge has gotten a lot out of her system. Mr. Tidwell says there was no relationship, it was just casual sex. But Ms. Lockridge claims she had a different idea of what they had going on, saying they were messing around for 6 years, and they were together for about a year. Mr. Tidwell says Ms. Lockridge went to have another kid, but she comes in saying that might be his kid too. Whew.
She has another guy that she was sleeping with.
During the time that you were having sex with Ms. Lockridge, were you aware of anyone else she involved with sexually?
That's a funny way to find out the woman you've been messing with is pregnant. Mr. Tidwell said all he had was the note and ultrasound photo Ms. Lockridge had left behind before she left.
Reaction in front of your brother when I found out I'm finally pregnant. I finally get something from you. The only
See what I'm
thing
saying?
from
She's
you.
obsessed with me.
No,
She
I'm
wants
not.
something from
I
me.
got plenty of them.
So she wants me to be her baby's dad more than she's sure.
Mr. Tidwell maintains his stance that Ms. Lockridge is obsessed with him and wants him to be the father more than she believes he is the father. Maybe Ms. Lockridge thought it was a good idea to get pregnant with Ms. Tidwell's baby since he told her the other girl's baby was going to be well taken care of if that's his baby. Maybe Mr. Tidwell is right after all.
With him, no, because
She's
he doesn't
obsessed
treat me
with
the
me,
way.
huh?
I'm not obsessed with you. If I was obsessed with you, there wouldn't be nobody else.
Oh. Okay, got that.
Oh wow, Ms. Lockridge just dropped the ball on her entire testimony. Ms. Lockridge says she's not obsessed with Mr. Tidwell because if she was, there wouldn't be any other person in the picture, so there is another person. Noted.
This is your grandson?
She is very obsessed with my son.
I am not obsessed. I was in love with him.
All she talks about is how much she wants to be with him and how she's got a prayer closet at home.
Mr. Tidwell's mother also believes Ms. Lockridge is obsessed with her son. Well, maybe that's true, but Ms. Lockridge says Mr. Tidwell can make it stop by him cutting her off and stop allowing her to think there's still something she can hold on to in their messy relationship.
While she was visiting, she decided to leave.
Yes.
Okay.
Not called, there wasn't.
During the visit?
Yes,
Just up and left.
yes.
No, I didn't.
We didn't see her
That's
for
a
2
bull-faced
weeks.
lie. I don't.
Ms. Lockridge left her child with Mr. Tidwell and his mother for 2 weeks, for Ms. Lockridge said it was from Thursday to Tuesday. Mr. Tidwell mentioned how he told her he was going to figure out if he's his son or not, and that was when Ms. Lockridge appeared within an hour with another man to pick the child up. Ms. Lockridge and Mr. Tidwell and his family don't see eye to eye, and maybe they never will, even if the result comes back positive.
Mr. Tidwell, you are not.
Are you kidding me?
Messed up, man.
I'm sorry.